defendant is sentenced to 14 months in prison.
No! I can't go to jail! Please! I'll appeal! No! You can't! Please! Please! No!
Mommy!
Quiet! Next matter, please.
Good morning, Your Honour. I appear for the Department of Public Prosecution.
Good morning, Your Honour. Miss Burton is aware of the seriousness of these charges. She's told me how sorry she is about what occurred on the said date. This is a young woman who, prior to this incident, had never committed a crime, who comes from a solid family background, who has a child, yet 6 months within meeting Peter Walton, a twice convicted felon, she was on the run from the police. I submit that Peter Walton influenced Kylie Burton to such an extent that he became the sole decision-maker in the partnership.
Get to the point, Mr. Scott.
Well, the point is that Mr. Walton intimidated Kylie Burton to such an extent that she agreed to help him commit a crime.
Mr. Scott, there are another 15 cases to be heard in this court today, if you get my meaning.
As for the crime of robbery, Kylie Burton was an accessory, the driver of the car and nothing more. I would ask for you to take this into consideration, Your Honour. As for the hit and run, well, the defendant in no way wishes this crime to seem less than it is. A man's life was taken and nothing...
That was my son! You killed my son and left his children without a father! You're a murderer!
Continue.
As I was saying, Your Honour, a man is dead. And the defendant must live with this guilt for the rest of her life. Guilt that is made no easier by the fact that this was an accident. A tragic accident. Mr. Thompson lost his life simply because Kylie Burton did not see him.
She still didn't see him even after she had run him down.
Look, I believe the fact of her fleeing from the scene of the crime, coupled with Peter Walton's insistence that she keep driving, may have clouded the defendant's judgment, Your Honour.
Yes, you may be right, Mr. Scott. Is that it?
Well, with reference to her other crime, that of breach of her bail conditions, I would ask the court to consider the fact that the defendant had only the welfare of her 5-year-old daughter in mind, as she simply couldn't bear the thought of her child growing up without a mother.
Yes. Makes you feel for Mr. Thompson's children, doesn't it, Mr. Scott?
Yes, Your Honour. Only 6 months prior to the first crime being committed, Kylie Burton's father died. This was a dominant figure in the defendant's life, and his death affected her enormously. She was also at the same time a single parent trying to bring up a child on Social Security. Her relationship with her mother had broken down due to her father's death, and she had no support structure to rely on. No support structure until she met Peter Walton. In summing up, I would like to reiterate the fact that the defendant realizes that she behaved recklessly and that her actions resulted in a person's death. She wishes the court and the victim's family to know how sorry she is. And it is under these circumstances that I would like to ask you, Your Honour, to consider alternatives to a prison sentence.
This court has heard that Kylie Marie Burton, while attempting to flee from the scene of an armed robbery committed by herself and her accomplice, ran down a man going about his lawful business. Now, while I accept that Miss Burton's life, in many respects, has not been easy, I also know that there are many thousands of people around the country who manage under similar circumstances without robbing others or threatening their lives. Now, this course of action the community cannot tolerate. Certainly life can be perilous enough without the greed and thoughtlessness of a few making it more so. Moreover, despite Mr. Scott's assurances that the defendant is sufficiently sorry for her crime, I see little evidence of that myself.
What? No one knows how sorry I am.
Be quiet! You will not speak over me. Therefore, and while I listen carefully to the defendant's solicitor's submissions, I am not prepared to consider alternatives to imprisonment at this time. The defendant is sentenced to full-time imprisonment with 6 years minimum term with an additional period of 2 years.
Yes!
What's going on, Daddy?
The defendant may be removed from the court.
Come on.